First opened way back in 1924, but renovated in 2002. There's a look inside venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is, when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
Watch it now,
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On second down, Jackson. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And out across midfield, down to the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. All right, here we go. 319. 319.
On second down, it's Drake. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Here we go now. 319. 319.
Here's Jackson. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And now out comes Minnesota. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first.
And his first carry, he loses the football. So they will set up shop. Excellent field position in the red zone at the 19-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. This one left side caught by Patterson. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Jackson on 1st down. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And Jackson throwing once more. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone. Hot.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. To throw again. Jackson. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent. And they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. If I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bears will extend their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. Noah Spence in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
A first down carry for Barkley. And now running right through it. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
One thing to keep in mind. Partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They go with a fullback line, and he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
A handoff to Barkley. Oh, eluding the tackle. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone!
And now Jackson will look to throw it. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. Flushed, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Melvin Ingram able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Gone! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw is Jackson. And that is incomplete here. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Detroit! Gone!
From the gun, Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That one will go down as 33 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. And Diggs has it. Got some real estate inside the 30. And down to the 27-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage. The drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Watch it now, Barney! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
All right, now, lucky 56.
Now Jackson on 1st down. He goes underneath the Drake. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it 2nd down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They come out here in the eye.
Over.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Drake. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively. And it'll be 4th down.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And he whips that one incomplete there.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 3rd down, Jackson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
It was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith. On 2nd down, Jackson. And an alley to run. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. And another timeout called by the Vikings now, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Jackson from the shotgun. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant. And that'll make it 3rd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Yeah, he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Steps away to his left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Gun! 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 Gun!
To throw is Jackson. Throwing on 1st down. Flushed out right. Now the ball comes loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. It's a foot race. 20, 10, and they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and, boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Clock at 20 seconds to go in the half as they come up 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Throwing on 1st down. Jackson going deep for Diggs. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Chicago. Stephon Diggs as the first half is winding down. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. McManus's point after is good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Let's get out of there.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Jackson now on 1st and 10. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And here on the road, that could be a huge score for their morale in the second half.
Every team has confidence going into the start of games, but sometimes you get it rocked a little bit, and it certainly applies here for them. But guess what? Just what you said, this touchdown can give them their belief back that they can win in the second half.
So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They run it again with Hill. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. The Bears on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is third and 8.
Detroit! Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Jackson from the gun. He'll throw. Going deep for Diggs. He's got it at the 15. And a big 32-yard play on third.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. Partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
On first down, Drake. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12. On second down, here's Jackson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Buying time to his left. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's fourth down.
Well, that was excellent coverage right there, and he definitely did the right thing, showing that discretion is definitely the better part of valor. Threw it away, preserved the opportunity to kick for a field goal.
And excellent coverage. And right now the human is controlling the defense, so good job, human. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Here's Jackson, escaping the pressure right. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Vikings on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They go play action with Jackson. Caught on the right side by Jones. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jackson on 1st down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part. of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit.
Now Jackson on first down. And that'll be incomplete.
Coverage was great everywhere that time. He tried to get it to his outlet, tried to get it to his running back, but sailed it a little bit too high and actually left his body open for a big hit.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson. Going to throw again. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
To throw on second down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down, needing long yardage to try and pick up a first down. And they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down. But guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball. I can remember a game here in Chicago a few years back. It was so blustery that Robbie Gould tried a field goal and just about kicked it out of bounds. Once that wind starts coming in off Lake Michigan, it can cause havoc in the kicking game.
They try the 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun, eluding the pressure right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Jackson, and this one is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, the obvious goal is to try and score a touchdown, but at the least, adding to a pretty big yardage total for his intended receiver there, huh?
Yeah, well, when you got a guy over 150 yards, keep chucking it deep to him, I guess.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You can get it to him short, and he can make plays that way, but I like what you just said. Throw it to him deep and get it in a big chunk.
But incomplete on that try. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Zach Line with it, the fullback. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Leopard!
Here's a give to Barkley. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Oh, look at the juke. Oh, and now some space to operate. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. The 13 yards that time and a first.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. On the run, it's Barkley. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the 4th. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. This is Barkley. Takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll go to Barkley again. Finding some room at midfield. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run with Barkley. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Benardrick McKinney there to make the stop.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. Where we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson throwing the out route and complete. It's Jones. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one goes for 24 yards.
While sometimes it doesn't appear like much, the out route can be very dangerous when you throw it to a guy like Julio Jones. If you try and undercut it, he can turn into a big play. The reason he's able to get it so often is because of his ability to push people deep, and they have to respect that.
Barkley. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Again, it's Barkley. And still fighting. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Jackson now, throwing on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, and that'll bring up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He'll get it up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jackson from the gun. He'll throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Over, 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 over. Over, over, over.
A pitch out to Drake. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Over, 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 over.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Now let's go.
Now they try the right side here. And he's up past the 10 to about the 12. Now we're going to get a stoppage. Appears to be an injured Bear on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down. Charles, defensively, one timeout left. Do you use it here, or do you let it roll to the 2-minute warning?
I would use it here because you're going to get the 2-minute warning stoppage as well. And then that means you have to snap the ball again. Something could happen. Something could go awry. You could get the ball back. I wouldn't let it run.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer.
Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go! Detroit! Detroit!
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Detroit! 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 Gun! 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 Gun!
From the gun, Jackson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 14.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they will take a knee here. The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Bears, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they too will exit with a 2-1 record. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Seahawks in Seattle. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on